Welcome back to the deep dive, where we, break down the most important AI news every day, keeping you up to date on all the happenings in the world of AI.
It really does feel like every day there's something new and significant happening, doesn't it?
It really does.
A lot to keep up with. But that's why we're here, right? To sort through all the noise and give you the essential information, the stuff that really matters. We've got a whole stack of reports and news articles and blog posts, all the good stuff. Ready to jump in?
Absolutely. Let's dive in. And one theme that keeps popping up today, the one thing that really struck me is AI agents. They're like everywhere.
Yeah, definitely a major trend we're seeing. It's not just talk anymore. AI agents are becoming real, practical tools. Businesses are actually using them.
Right, like Pipefy. They're a process automation company, and they've just integrated AI agents right into their platform.
Interesting. What exactly are these agents doing for Pipefy?
So basically, they're designed to handle all those really boring, repetitive tasks. The stuff that nobody really wants to do, but it has to be done.
Oh, I see. So it's all about automating those tedious processes, making things more efficient.
Exactly. And that's, a huge benefit for businesses,
Yeah.
freeing up their human teams to focus on more creative and strategic work.
Makes sense. So it's like AI taking care of the grunt work.
Exactly. And then there's Oracle.
Oracle. What are they doing with AI agents?
Well, they just launched this new thing called AI Agent Studio, and it's specifically for their Fusion applications.
Fusion applications. I'm not familiar with that.
So that's their big suite of business software, for things like finance and HR and supply chain management. Basically everything a big company needs to run.
Right, right. So what does this AI agent studio do?
It allows their customers, the companies that use Fusion applications, to build their own AI agents. So they can kind of create these little AI assistants that are specifically tailored to their needs.
Interesting. So it's like giving them the power to create custom AI solutions within the applications they're already using.
Exactly. So you could have an AI agent that automates invoice processing or manages customer inquiries, things like that.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's all about making it easier for businesses to adopt and implement AI in their operations.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have OpenAI jumping into the mix.
OpenAI, they're always up to something interesting. What have they got now?
A new API for voice agents.
Voice agents. So AI that can talk and understand us.
Exactly. And apparently this new API makes it possible to create AI voices that sound much more natural, like way more human-like.
That's pretty impressive. How do they do that?
Well, I don't know all the technical details, but it seems like they've made huge improvements in speech recognition and text-to-speech.
And what about comprehension? Can these voice agents actually understand what we're saying?
Oh, yeah, definitely. They've improved that, too. And get this, you can even customize the speaking style of the AI through text commands.
So you can make it sound more formal or more casual depending on the situation.
Exactly. It's all about creating more engaging and user-friendly AI experiences.
I can see this being really useful for things like virtual assistants and customer service bots.
Definitely. And all this talk about AI agents, it kind of ties in with this whole idea of decentralized AI, moving away from just a few big companies controlling everything.
Right, right. More of a distributed ecosystem.
Exactly. And there's this company called Exabits. They provide really powerful GPUs for AI, and they've just joined the AI Agent Alliance.
The AI Agent Alliance, what is that?
It's like a group of companies that are all working towards building a more decentralized AI future.
I see. So what does Exabits bring to the table?
Well, they provide these really high-end GPUs, the kind you need for serious AI development and training. They've got 4090s, A100s, H100s, even the new H200s.
Those are some serious processors.
Yeah, top of the line. And they provide them to both Web 2 and Web 3 companies.
So traditional internet companies and the blockchain world.
Exactly. And that's really important because it means that AI development isn't just limited to the big tech giants. More people can get involved.
So it's about democratizing access to the tools and resources needed for AI innovation.
Exactly. And speaking of innovation, there's this report that says AI agent capabilities are doubling every 3 months.
Wow, that's incredibly fast. Even faster than Moore's Law.
I know, right? It's exponential growth. And they're not just talking about theoretical stuff. This study actually measured agent performance on real-world tasks.
If that trend continues, it's going to have a massive impact on so many industries.
Absolutely. But, there's also this other perspective. Some experts are saying that these so-called AI agents, they're not really that intelligent on their own.
What do you mean?
Well, the argument is that they're basically just orchestrators of large language models, those LLMs that are so good at understanding and generating text.
So the agent is like a manager who delegates tasks to the LLM, which
Mm.
is the real brains of the operation.
Exactly. So the question is, are these agents truly autonomous and intelligent, or are they just interfaces for more powerful underlying systems?
It's a really interesting question,
Hmm.
and it kind of gets to the heart of what we mean by AI.
Absolutely. Now, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about what the big tech companies are doing. Google, for example, has just launched this new thing called TS Gemma.
TX Gemma, what is that? Some kind of gemstone?
Not quite. It's a collection of OpenAI models specifically designed for drug discovery.
Drug discovery, so AI for developing new medicines.
Exactly. These models can actually assess the safety and effectiveness of potential new therapies.
That's pretty incredible. So how does it work?
Well, I don't know all the details, but it seems like they use machine learning to analyze huge amounts of data about different drugs and their effects.
And what's Google doing with these models? Are they keeping them for themselves?
Actually, no, they're making them open access through their Health AI Developer Foundations program.
So anyone can use them?
Yeah, researchers, scientists, anyone who's working on drug discovery. It's all about fostering collaboration and accelerating progress.
That's a really interesting approach. And it kind of makes sense, given how difficult drug discovery is. It's not an easy problem to solve, even with AI.
Right. And we've seen other companies trying to tackle this with AI, like Exscientia and Benevolent AI, but they've faced some challenges and setbacks.
So maybe this open approach from Google will lead to some breakthroughs.
Hopefully. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Now, there's also been a lot of talk about Google trying to catch up with OpenAI in the chatbot
Oh
race.
yeah, that's been all over the news.
Apparently, it's been a really intense 2 years inside Google, lots of pressure, late nights, the whole Silicon Valley drama.
It sounds like it. And what about those adjustments to their AI safety guidelines? What was that all about?
Well, it seems like they had to loosen some of their restrictions to allow for more experimentation and faster development.
So they could be more competitive.
Exactly. It just shows how seriously they're taking this chatbot competition.
Yeah, the stakes are high. And what about Apple? Where do they fit into all of this?
Well, they've made some changes to their Siri team. They've moved it under the leadership of the Vision Pro chief.
The Vision Pro, that's their new augmented reality headset, right?
Right, so it seems like they might be trying to integrate Siri more tightly with their hardware products.
Interesting. But they're also facing that class action lawsuit, right?
Yeah, the one where they're accused of misleading consumers about Siri's AI capabilities.
Right, so people are starting to expect more from their AI assistants.
Definitely. And there's even talk about some pretty drastic measures Apple might consider,
Like what?
like acquiring Anthropic, which is another big AI company, or even discontinuing Siri altogether.
Wow, those are some pretty big moves.
I know, right? It just shows how much the AI landscape is changing and how companies are scrambling to adapt.
It's a really dynamic time. And it's not just the usual suspects making AI news. Even Yahoo, as they turn 30, has announced some big AI plans.
Right, so AI is definitely becoming more mainstream. It's not just a niche technology anymore.
Definitely not. It's everywhere.
And then there's Microsoft. Always busy, always doing something. They've got this new research project about crediting the people who contribute data to AI training sets.
That's an interesting idea.
Hmm.
Who owns the data that AI learns from? It's a complex issue.
It is. And they've also acquired some talent from an AI video startup called Haper, so they're definitely investing in that area.
AI video is definitely a hot space right now.
It is. And their Azure AI Foundry, their cloud platform for AI, is getting a boost from some new Nvidia technology.
So they're beefing up their infrastructure.
Absolutely. And then we have SoftBank making a big splash in the hardware world. They've acquired this chip startup called Ampere for $6.5 billion.
Ampere, what do they make?
High performance processors, the kind that are really important for cloud computing and AI workloads.
So it's all about having the right hardware to power the AI revolution.
Exactly. And it seems like SoftBank is really serious about AI. They're not just investing in software, they're getting into the hardware game as well.
Makes sense. It's a smart strategic move.
Now, let's talk a bit about open source and collaboration in AI. Hugging Face, they're a big proponent of open AI development. They're urging the U.S. government to prioritize open source in its upcoming AI action plan.
So they're advocating for a more open and collaborative approach to AI development.
Exactly. And it makes sense, right? If more people can access the tools and resources, it'll lead to faster progress and more innovation.
Definitely. And speaking of open source, the source code for AlexNet has just been released.
AlexNet. That's like ancient history in the AI world.
It is, but it was a really important model. It kind of kicked off the whole deep learning revolution.
Right, so this is like releasing the blueprints for a historical artifact.
Exactly. It's a great resource for researchers and anyone who wants to understand the foundations of modern AI.
Definitely. And Roblox has also embraced open source with the release of Cube 3D, which is an AI model for generating 3D and 4D objects and environments.
It's like a tool for creating virtual worlds.
Exactly. And by making it open source, they're empowering a whole new generation of creators.
It's a great way to democratize access to these powerful AI tools.
Absolutely. Now, let's wrap things up with some of the latest advancements in AI capabilities. Grok 3, the AI model from xAI, has gotten some new updates.
What kind of updates?
They've added deeper search functionalities and AI image editing capabilities.
So it's becoming more versatile.
Exactly. And then there's Anthropic's Claude chatbot. It's now integrated with web search.
So it can access information from the internet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's reportedly using Brave Search, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that affects its performance.
Definitely. And Google has unveiled this new AI system called Bolt 3D. It can generate complete 3D scenes from photos in just 6 seconds.
Wow, that's fast.
I know, right? It's pretty mind-blowing. And then there's Nvidia. They're continuing to push the boundaries of big data processing with Apache Spark.
So they're making it faster and more efficient to analyze huge data sets.
Exactly. And finally, AI video creation is becoming more and more accessible. You can combine ChatGPT for generating ideas with tools like Runway ML to create really impressive videos.
It's amazing how far AI has come.
It really is. So that's it for today's deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground, from AI agents and big tech strategies to open source and the latest advancements in AI capabilities.
It's clear that AI is evolving at an incredible pace, and it's having a huge impact on just about every aspect of our lives.
Absolutely. And as AI continues to advance, it raises all sorts of questions about the future. How will we ensure that it's used for good? How will we adapt to a world where AI is increasingly integrated into our daily lives?
It's something we all need to think about.
Definitely. And that's something for you to ponder. What do you think the future holds for AI? And how will it shape our world?
Until next time.
See you on the next deep dive.